if you guys are really scared to do things, but you know they're the right moves, there's two reasons you do them. One, you got to do them because they're the right moves or your life's not going to change. But number two, the more often you do them with repetition, all of a sudden you build this new muscle where the once scary things don't even hit your radar of scary anymore. But here's the catch-22. If you don't start doing these things on a regular basis, the rest of your life is going to feel scary. And we're back
with another episode of He Said, She Said.
Do it scared, babe.
Do it scared.
We were just talking about the number of times that we have done something while scared. Absolutely correlates with the number of successes that we've had in life.
Okay, so before we really dive in, because I want to dig into where you've been really, really scared in your life and you've done something and how you feel on the other side. But I want to know, do you feel like you get something that maybe you can't categorize as fear, but you feel your heart race a little bit every single week? Do you do something that kind of like, okay, here we go. Like, you know, it's scary, but now you're just used to it?
I don't think every single week, but at least once every 30 to 60 days, I do something that feels scary to do, whether it's reaching out to somebody or talking to a certain investor or, I don't know, being on a certain show or getting an interview or who knows what.
Like going to dinner with new people, even like different things like that I think of. That the point I want to make is that I think we've gotten so used to things that are scary, that things in the beginning that we would have called scary, we're doing them all the time now.
They're just not
so
anymore.
Your capacity does grow, but it doesn't go away. But your capacity definitely grows.
Well, I think that's the first takeaway. Is if you guys are really scared to do things, but you know they're the right moves, there's two reasons you do them. One, you got to do them because they're the right moves or your life's not going to change. But number two, the more often you do them with repetition, all of a sudden you build this new muscle where the once scary things don't even hit your radar of scary anymore. But here's the catch-22. If you don't start doing these things on a regular basis, the rest of your life is going to feel scary. And you're going to be stuck behind this giant wall that's going to hold your life back forever and ever, called the wall of mother freaking scared.
Mm-hmm. So for you, what is a time, try to remember way back, when you did something that was scary, that you didn't know how it was going to turn out? And it was like something that really, really up until that point had rocked your world.
Okay, I know one. When I went to my partner at the mortgage bank, I was a partner in a mortgage bank for a few years, right after the tail end of the recession there, and said, hey, this is not working out. We're not getting along. I want to sell my equity to you and get out of here, and then come home and just help Lori with her personal brand that she had at the time. That was scary because conventional wisdom would say it was dumb. Mm-hmm. Like the typical person would have just toughed it out and hoped that it got better. But I didn't want a life where I was toughing it out and hoping it got better. I wanted a life where I worked with people where I was really happy every day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was scary to leave the income and the future opportunity because it was a thriving mortgage bank. We really were doing incredible at the time. And it was a time where I didn't feel like I had a lot of other opportunities either.
Right.
So it's not like I had the confidence of, hey, I'm going to leave one good opportunity for another. I had no idea what in the heck I was going to do afterwards. And that's scary. But I knew that wasn't the right one for me. And so sitting down and tearing off that Band-Aid, saying, I'm out of here. Let's hash it out. What's this going to look like financially? And going through that battle and then coming home and saying, all right, babe, I'm just helping you grow your brand. I got no idea what's in front of us. There was nothing guaranteed there. That was scary, especially as a man, because you're supposed to be like the breadwinner.
Yeah. I think even especially at that time, which doesn't seem that long ago, but it kind of was like a very different time. And we were in the Midwest. So everything gets there a little bit slower. And we didn't see other people doing what we were doing.
Right.
So it was kind of like we wanted to be this thing that we really didn't even see yet. So we didn't know if it would work. And I think at the time for you, there was a lot going on in you that I didn't even know. So you were dealing with, I feel like because of your old perfectionist traits, like you were suffering a lot in silence, because I come to find out later that you're like, I'm viewing you as this breadwinner and oh my gosh, you're so capable and you're so confident in your life and you've had so much success in this job. Except I didn't know that you felt like this golden handcuff feeling because you didn't graduate from college.
Yep.
And you felt like that was your only skill set.
My only route I could take.
And didn't know of, like, that whole industry was like gone in a second for a while. So for him, I had no idea that he's sitting there battling, trying to be confident for me, but feeling like a total failure and doesn't know where to go now.
Well, the point is, made the move anyway. I remember when I told my parents, hey, Mom, Dad, I think I'm going to sell out of my partnership and just go home and work with Lori on these projects that we're doing. I remember where I was when they said, you sure you want to do that, son? It seems like you have a good thing with a good opportunity in front of you. And that's good parent advice, by the way, because it wasn't logical what I was doing, but I knew it was what I had to do.
Yeah. So for me, a time when I felt really scared, there's so many, Chris. That's why I'm like, I feel like I've just been going from fear after fear after fear, which is why I think I've experienced the success I've experienced.
So pick one and share it with the damn folks.
So I would say the first one would be way back in the day when I decided to do a fitness competition out of nowhere. Had no idea how to do one. I mean, small town, Midwest, didn't see this around me, did not know how to do it, didn't even know where one was. And having to go and find somebody who could maybe train me, find a fitness competition. What does this even look like? Even if I end up doing okay, what does that even mean? How can I use that? How can I use this? What do I really want? To propel my future forward.
Stand on a stage in a bikini with spotlights and being judged, literally?
Yeah. When you're somebody who at the time had panic attacks and anxiety and was on a beta blocker because of it, this is a big deal. So because I was I don't think I want to be on these meds anymore. I think I want to see what it's like to just face my fears. That's just where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
Hey y'all, I'm so excited to share with you that this podcast, Earn Your Happy, is now a part of the Growth Day Podcast Network. Truly, this is one of the most exciting things that has ever happened to me. I'm telling you, I no longer feel like I'm doing this alone, and I actually get to collaborate with the people who host the podcast that I'm obsessed with, that I have been listening to myself, who inspired me to start a podcast, who have taught me about how to go and do the thing, the original people who got me motivated through listening to their podcasts. You guys, a bunch of us are coming together to bring more growth to the world and to support shows and brands that we believe in. And one of my friends are also on this network, and I'd love for you to go subscribe to their show. You guys, I just had Danielle Canty on of the Boss Babe podcast. She co-hosts it with her other amazing co-host and one of my friends, Natalie Ellis. You guys, you can go check out that podcast on mine. It's episode 925, and Danielle and I talk all about burnout and how that could be showing up in your life, and most importantly, how to prevent it. But I want to tell you, if you have not gone and checked out the Boss Babe podcast yet, go subscribe, because it is one of the largest online communities for ambitious women and female entrepreneurs. And I know that if you're listening to the show, chances are that's probably you. You guys, they have 3.6 million followers and 380,000 subscribers. The Boss Babe podcast is the place where they share real behind the scenes of building successful businesses, achieving peak performance, and learning how to balance it all. Most of all, you guys, truly, these women are in my life. Danielle and Natalie are people that I text on a weekly, monthly basis when I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel stuck. What should I do? I tune into their podcast, you guys, to learn. Even though they're my friends, I am still crazy obsessed with this podcast because I learn something new every single time I listen. It makes me be a better podcaster. It makes me be a better businesswoman. It just makes me be better and more confident out in the world because they're so real and raw. And I can tell you that in the moments where I have had horrible days, down days, I've either gone and listened to this podcast or I've texted them, because these are the people who truly get it. You want to listen to the people who are walking in the same footsteps that you are. You guys, go check out the Boss Babe podcast. You're not going to be sorry. And it's just going to make you way smarter, and you're going to have way more fun. So go check it out.
And I decided that I needed to do something really big and scary to get over this fear, because I was only getting worse.
Yeah.
Do you remember how bad I was getting? I was getting freaked out to even go out with friends because I had such social anxiety. And I was like, if I don't get a grip on this and start doing scary things more frequently, I'm going to end up in a padded room. That's literally what I felt like. I didn't want to leave the house, and I knew I had to do something big and scary. And ever since that time in my life, I learned that doing the scary thing is actually freedom, because when you don't do scary things, you're scared.
I remember another one I want to point out about you. Around the same time, you discovered speaking on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never seen someone so terrified to speak on a stage as what you were, which is related to the things you're just talking about, social anxiety and all that. I mean, it was physically crippling for you. And you went from not being able to murmur a word on stage almost. I'm not exaggerating there. And damn near having a panic attack where you'd have to go to a hospital if someone's going to put you on stage and make you speak, to saying, screw it, I'm going to start my own, event called the Bliss Project. And that event started the bulk majority of women's events out there right now, women's entrepreneurial and self-development events out there. When you built that stage and said, screw it, I'm going to get up there and I'm going to figure out how to get 500 women in a room and hope that greatness comes out of it. That was the springboard for so many of these that we see today. And you were terrified. What if people didn't come? What if they didn't buy tickets? What if you passed out on stage? You almost did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I truly remember just not even knowing if I was going to be able to do it. And I used prayer the entire time. It was the only way that I could do it. But you have to face it. I also did a lot of work around thinking about if I never did it. Like I actually let myself go there. Like, what am I going to feel like in 5 years if I don't face this fear? What am I going to feel like in 10 years? What will my life be like in 20 years? And I would sit in that feeling and make it so real and so vivid. And I would say, how will I be showing up for my loved ones? How will I be treating them? Who will be left in my life? Because I was also in a place where I was kind of being weird. I was pushing people away and I didn't like who I was. I was drinking too much and picking fights with Chris. Like, it was all because I felt trapped and I knew I was trapping myself because I wanted to avoid the scary thing. Because I had myself so convinced that I was a person with panic attacks and anxiety and that was just something wrong with me. And it was because I wasn't facing my fears.
Yep. Yeah. Nobody's broken and that you can't overcome those things. Most people aren't willing to step into that scary mess of facing it and fixing it. And you said something else that I don't want to gloss over. You gave people the formula right now to overcoming their fear. And that is this. You need to viscerally, and I mean viscerally, picture what happens to your life if you don't do the scary thing and it stays the same or continues on the bad trajectory it's already on, or even the boring trajectory it's already on, or even the wrong trajectory that it's already on. What happens in your life if you don't do the scary thing? How does it turn out in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years, if you stay on the trajectory you are on right now? And that should scare you enough where that's the far scarier outcome than getting on the stage or doing the thing or whatever it is that you're afraid of. You see, sometimes you're not choosing between what am I afraid of and what am I not afraid of. Most of the times in life, when you're making the best choices that will really put you on a different trajectory, you're choosing between the lesser of two evils. You're choosing between which scared is scarier than the other one. And that typically is if you stay on the same path that you are headed for right now, instead of starting to do some of the other scary things that would put you on a better path.
So I was just thinking of all of the ways that we have overcome all of our fears, all of it. All of it has traced back to, yes, it may have started with books and podcasts, but those led us to rooms.
Yeah.
And ultimately, every transformation that I've had is in a room. That's why I have dedicated a lot of my life to events and transformative events, is because I can name 15 events that I've been to that have given me some crazy breakthrough to keep on growing, keep on going. And for me, it's always been about getting in the rooms and continuing to build my network, because your network has every answer that you need. And if you don't have your answer yet, it's because you've not built the network that you need.
Yeah, it's a lot easier, actually, now that you mention it, to not be scared when you know you have the right people in place to support you if whatever you're afraid of happens. That's another great resource. You're right. I gave one a minute ago. A better one is put yourself, or at least assemble your community, so that you've got people to kick you back in the game or to help you recover or to tell you, hey, here's the positives of the negative thing that just happened. You need those type of people in your life in order to feel the confidence to do what it is that you're scared to do. Because now you have people you can fall back. I remember, Lori, you used to have two friends. I mean, you still have two friends, but you guys have a secret code that you text each other whenever you're scared to do something or something was about to happen, and you just text it to them. And they know that they got to come to your rescue and kind of kick you in the game and help you through whatever it is that you're scared of in that moment. And you've got to work hard to find and assemble those people in your life. We're going to give them an opportunity in 2024 to do that too, aren't we?
I am so excited about this. I'm actually this to me will be the most fun thing that we have done together yet in our career.
The best thing ever. First of all, it's been a long time since you and I did anything together. You have your events, I have my events.
Yeah.
It's been years since we've actually done one together. And we've been kicking around something that is the dopest thing you have ever heard of in your entire life, something you haven't heard of before in your life, not that I've heard of before. And it's going to be the best way to get in a room with awesome people. Anyhow, we don't want to let you know too much about it right now. But if you want to get on the early access list to be the first to find out.
If you're just curious.
If you're curious, send us a text. Text us the word dinner. I'll let you read into that all that you want. But text us the word dinner to 310-421-0416. Again, text us the word dinner to 310-421-0416.
All right, you guys, we are so grateful for you, and we can't wait to share more details about what that is about. I mean, everyone loves dinner, right?
And in the meantime, remember, the lesser between two scareds is the one that's going to put you on a better trajectory. Choose that one. Thanks for listening.
See you next week.
Hey, do you know what the big secret is this year? And it shouldn't be a secret because this should be your biggest focus. It is building your community. I am always working on building and nurturing my community, and everyone is talking about the power of community. Without an online community, you just cannot grow organically or create a real movement, which is what I know that we're all after. And you can build trust or monetize your audience. When you get community right, not only does your audience grow faster, but so do your sales. But where's everybody going to be managing their communities these days? And a lot of online entrepreneurs and thought leaders are turning to Circle.so. Circle is an all-in-one community platform. It lets you host content and create discussions, live streams, group chats, and memberships all under your own brand. And what's so cool about Circle.so is that you don't even need a website or Facebook group. Instead, Circle lets you build your own community site where you can host content and manage your members. You can even create locked and unlocked content spaces, groups, and classes. How freaking cool is that? You can put your content behind a paywall too, and you can charge different amounts of money for different spaces on your community site. Circle.so is famously easy to use, and it has a free 14-day trial for you, so you can go check it out, see if you like it, see if you love all the options. Just go to Circle.so. Go check it out right now, you guys. Imagine being able to manage your community, start group chats and live classes, and accept payments all in one place. Kind of mind-blowing since this is usually spread all over the place. You have to log into so many different things. If this is the year to capture, organize, and monetize your community, head over to Circle.so. You can get a free trial and start building your online community right now. Just go to Circle.so. You guys, you get the 14-day free trial. So just go and see if it's for you. It's going to streamline everything and make your life so much easier. It's so freaking cool. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. And I want to make sure that you have my phone number, and I'm not kidding. Did you know that I have a community text number? For real. My phone number is 310-496-8363. This goes directly to my phone. All you have to do is text the word daily to 310-496-8363. And I literally text you every single day, Monday through Friday. I actually just got done 30 seconds ago texting a bunch of people back, and I talk to you all of the time. You guys, people always ask me how I got my community text number and how it works. Well, all you have to do is you can just go to community.com and get your own. Community makes it easy to get a phone number that you can use to build your audience using text. People just text you at your number and they're added to your group.
Then you can text them out audios, video links, anything you want. You guys, I text out happy birthday videos. I love to send podcast links, thoughts about life, book recommendations, different events that I'm doing in the local area. Texting gets me out of the noise of social media and directly into your hand. And now you can start texting your people too. Just go to community.com to get your phone number. They give you a 10-digit real phone number, not those weird short codes that look like spam, but it's more than a phone number. Your new number comes with an inbox for SMS and texting. This means you can actually manage your text list from your computer and an app on your phone. You can schedule texts to send at certain times and to certain groups. You can even set up auto replies or let your assistant or customer service team answer your text messages via Community's awesome dashboard. Just go to community.com and ask for a free demo. They'll show you how it works and get you your number. It's time to start texting your audience versus just posting on social media. Everyone uses Community for that. So go check them out at community.com. I can tell you it's not just great for communicating with my audience, but Chris and I use Community and our texts to also sell out our launches. I'm telling you, you get such an incredible response because you really are creating a true, deep sense of community. And it's so intimate. It's freaking amazing. Go check it out at community.com.